So we have managed to get our National B license, and we're at the beginning of our second season at Real Jaén. We are doing good things. We played 36 games, won 17, drawn 2, lost 17, which isn't the best record, but it's still good enough to survive, and that's all I care about. But we've got a conundrum in our hands now. The board have the option to form a new B team next year, and I'm actually going to decline this, mostly because I don't think I can justify the money or cost, even if it means I can get some new staff members. I don't think I can justify having another team on our books right now. I know that we can come back to this again, so we have the option from next season. So as far as I'm concerned, we can go back to it again in the future and do this now. So we are going to decline having a big team for the first time around. When we have more money and when we have like better facilities, we'll be better off. And I'm hoping to do it when we're in the second tier potentially, because we might have the money to do it then. But until then, I'm going to have to hold off for now. I say until we got the money, we've currently got £93,000. Oh, and the training facilities have been downgraded, and I got told I can't upgrade them. They didn't want me to do it, so that's a thing that's happening. But then I looked at the club vision for this year, and the objective was to attempt to avoid relegation from the Segunda Federación Grupo 4. Attempt to avoid relegation, not avoid relegation, just attempt it. And that's because the teams that have come up are pretty good apparently. Amira's B team, Montreal Cordoba's B team, and Racing Catania are apparently quite good. So I feel like I should be a bit concerned by this situation right now. But I know that last year we got 50 points. I'm certain we can do it again, even if we don't have our best players to do it. Yeah, Eric left us for Mexico, and he's been paid $7,000 a week, as I mentioned before. It still hit me a lot harder than I thought it would, because I realize now I can't really pay those wages. And then I realize how much money I've got now in the wage budget. I've got $42,000 a week wage budget, and I'm paying just $21,000 a week. So suddenly, I could probably pay him $7,000 a week if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to, because I'm not crazy. And I don't want to put the club's future in financial difficulty. But I'd rather not go into administration and find out I can get a points deduction for doing so when the club's just had a new owner. I also forgot to mention this, we've got debt now because we took our bank loan of $160,000 to pay off some of the money that we were without. Yeah, this happened when the board took over the club, the new board, and they paid off some of the outstanding debt with a bank loan. And we're now paying $1.4,000 a week until 10 years' time. So that's a thing. Oh, I've also got 2 players who wanted to leave for a bigger club, including my best player. Kevin Toner, though, he's good, but he's not next level good. He's got a minimum release clause of $120,000. I've told him you can only go for that point of money. I'm also paying 13% of my wages, so that was a smart move on my part. Now I've got an angry Irishman who wants to leave, and I'm paying him about over 10% of my wages, almost close to 15% of our wages, because of course I am. Also, he says he wants to move to a bigger club. Sorry, you're only a good player for this division. There's not really going to be a bigger club that's going to want you, and you're thinking third tier or second tier, you're not that good. Unfortunately, Gonzalo Guzman probably is good enough for that, and I refuse to let him go because he's actually quite good. He's a leading player. Apparently, he's only a good player for this division, which is a bit weird, considering he's a 4.5-star accountability for our team, which I think says more about the team than it does about him. But he's 21 years of age. He can definitely improve. He wants to leave, and he will only be able to leave if we get that, £500,000. Now, admittedly, he's on a tenth of the wages that Toner is, but quite frankly, Guzman is too good for us to let go. I don't have anyone that can really take his spot right now. And I look at the squad planner, and bizarrely, the roles that we were struggling with last year are not as bad, though they're still bad. Sanchez is our best goalkeeper. He's been paid $1,000 a week, which tells you just how messed up my finances are. But he's only a decent goalkeeper for this division, so again, not great. Ramon Mendoza is still 16 and still unambitious and is still not very good, so that's annoying. He's also inconsistent and has a competitive streak, because of course he does. He's also only 6 foot tall. Right back, we've actually got our best role at this point, I think, is the right back and striker, so that's a good sign. Miguel Cancelo is our best right back. He's a decent player for the division, which again, I think tells you just how bad our squad is, that a 3.5-star current busy player is only a decent player for this division. He likes big matches, he is consistent, he's got a bad personality unfortunately, but he is improving, and he could be a leading player for the division, so if we can get better players and get the players to develop as well as I hope we can, then we've got young talent. We just need to give them the game time. David Ordonez is just about a decent player for the division as well. He can also play as centre-back, though I wouldn't say he's very good at it. He's also slow, so I don't think he's the kind of player we really want in that role, if I'm honest with you. But we could definitely use him in these positions, and he could even be a ball-playing defender if I was desperate enough. Not that I am, because vision being so bad. But yeah, wide centre-back, definitely not going to do that. How is he even a fullback? He's a fullback to defend, not support. That makes more sense. Or no-nonsense fullback. Could he be an inverted fullback? No. I think centre-back is definitely his best role, even if he's only 5'10". Yeah, we're really limited for choices, aren't we? But Dario Sola has been here since the beginning, and we are going to have to try and give him first-team football. He's only a third-tier player, but he's only a 2-star current ability player as well. So if we give him first-team football this year, we can work with that. He's also inconsistent. He's also only 16, so he can definitely still improve. He's also got a £150,000 minimum release clause. He's already close to being that value at his top value, so can I be concerned? Also, Goodwin Bahari is still here. He can play on both fullback positions. He's got 2 dribbling, and I'm not a fan. But if we can work on that and work on a few other things, maybe he can improve. He is consistent, though, and has decent decision-making, so it's not the end of the world. He's got pace and work rate and good stamina, so again, we could utilise that to our advantage. Centre-back, the average is 2 stars. Yes, we've talked about Kevin Tono. The fact I think he's our most paid player, the highest paid player at the club, is not ideal, but he's still really good. And he's definitely one of our better players now, along with Guzman, so I kind of had to give him the money. And again, Ordonez, good player. Not perfect, though. We need better players going forward. But Raul Mato, who I moaned about a lot last year, is improving. He's now a 2-star player for this division and is fairly professional, so he's definitely getting better in that regards. He's also a no-nonsense centre-back on, well, a stopper for it. He's definitely getting better and better. I just wish his heading was not just 4, but he's 6'4". He's definitely not a wise centre-back, that's for certain. He's, weirdly enough, better at first touch than his heading, which is a bit concerning. But his jumping reach of 14 is decent. His composure is 5, though. So again, we need to work on a few things for him. Though he's definitely getting better and better. He's definitely a no-nonsense centre-back, though. Most because of his composure, though his heading could definitely be improved as well. We've also got Nico, who's already a 1.5-star current ability player. Not really enticing situation when he's that good for our team at the age of 15, and he's not that great. But he is consistent, so it could be worse. He's also a mercenary, so I can probably just keep him at the club by giving him a lot of money, which is not ideal because I don't want to give him a lot of money. But he's got 15 teamwork and 10 work rate. He's only got 5 strength, but he's got 13 jumping reach and 10 heading and 18 bravery, so definitely some improvements can be made. So we talked about 2 players that can play as fullbacks, and Ruben is the one that I'm going to be giving more game time to, even though he's already wanted on loan by a team in the lower tiers, an under 18 side. They're not guessing him. But he's consistent and he's a realist, so I don't think he's terrible. It says a lot that he's already got 13 tackling, 15 aggression, 11 decision making, 11 work rate, and 10 anticipation. And that his physicals are looking decent as well. So if we get his strength up and we get his speed up, we could be looking good physically. And it's just the technical side of things that we need to improve as well. He's got some talent here, we just need to unlock it. DMs. We've already talked about one of the players, but Blasco last year was really useful. 5 goals, all from the penalty spot, and 7 assists as well. Doesn't have the best average rating, but really, he was playing the position that he was never really used to, and he's also extremely inconsistent, so as far as I'm concerned, he's definitely improved. Yes, apparently his first touch and vision's gone down, which is not ideal, but his first touch is 13, marking of 11, tackling of 10, technique of 14, decision of 13, anticipation of 12, balance of 14, and persisting of 11. So he's not terrible. We just need him to keep improving because he's definitely become a bright spark in this team. And we got Abraham Aira. His mentals are actually kind of useful. 17 aggression, 11 anticipation, 18 bravery, 17 teamwork, 14 work rate, 11 tackling, 13 stamina, 11 pace, 13 agility. As a ball midfielder, he's great. And as a box-to-box, he's not terrible. Though his potential ability is not that good either. If we can get him to progress and just be a useful annoyance as both a defensive midfielder and a ball midfielder and just a midfielder generally, he could be useful for the team. It's just a shame that he's not exactly amazing and his potential ability is not that high. Centre midfield, Guzman we already talked about, star player for the team. He wants to leave. But Nestor last year was really good, but he's 32. So my older players are going to be leaving us sooner rather than later, and he doesn't like big matches, but he's a decent player for the division. The fans like him as well. He's on almost $1,000 a week, and he's got 2 more years on his current deal, so this might be his last long-term deal for us, but he's a playmaker. I've been playing him as a box-to-box because I think he could do the role and has done the role this year, so has some ability about him. We've got Mario Matos as well, but he's more of an attacking midfielder who I might just let go because he's not really good enough for the division. And this is his last year at the club, I think, because we've got the players coming through that can take his spot. His physicals are absolutely dying, so that's not ideal. He also has a competitive streak. Never got sent off last year, but he wasn't really a starter for me last year either. He only started twice. Came on from the bench 30 times last year, so the fact he got 2 goals and 3 assists in that time is useful. I just don't think he's very good, despite the fact he's got some decent attributes. Chenting, a midfielder and a winger last year, and he's decent at both roles. Now, he's a 2-star current ability player for the left midfielder role, though I'm definitely using him as an attacking midfielder on the left or winger. He's got the potential in my mind to do it, even if he's unambitious. But apparently he's not far away from his potential ability, which is not ideal. But he was good last year when we needed him to be. We pretty much used him every single game. Yes, I said his average rating was only a 6.64, but he got 3 goals and assists last year. And he mostly came off on the bench, so he wasn't terrible. Right wingers, there's only really 3 to talk about. Oscar Lozano is definitely going to be playing as the main man this year. I think he might be my captain as well. 2.5 grand a week. It's a lot of money to be paying someone, and we're paying him over 10% of our current wage bill. So it's not ideal for that. But he likes big matches. He's consistent, and he can play across the front line, and he's competent at it as well. So he's not a bad player. We can definitely utilize him, and I like him. Also, last year, when he started on the left wing, he got 5 goals, 8 assists, and 2 player of the match awards. He was not a bad player for us. Miguel Angel Martin is another player that is really useful and has some potential ability. Can be a winger, can be an attacking midfielder, can be a striker. We're mostly going to be using him as a winger on the right-hand side this year. Inverted or otherwise, I think he's got the ability to do some damage, and it would be a waste not to use his crossing. But again, we need to make sure he's good, and we need to make sure he improves. His stamina's not great, which is why he's going to mostly come on for the bench. Yes, he's inconsistent. Yes, he's got a competitive streak. And yes, he's not very strong. But we can definitely utilize him and make him better. He can definitely improve a lot. He's only 15. Ruben Sanchez Robles was last year useful, but not great. He is getting better and actually could play on the left-hand side more than he was last year. So I might need to try. I'm definitely trying to train him to play an inverted winger. He definitely came up from the bench last year a lot. and 25 times on the bench, 2 goals, 1 assist. Definitely improved, definitely got a few goals. And he's got potential to do well. I just don't know how much more he'll get to, but he definitely has some ability to get to try and improve himself here. Looking at the left wing, I'm trusting you for this side of the pitch, and that might be dangerous. Sergio Gabari is one of those players I'm trusting on that side. He might be my starter this year, which I know is dangerous to try and do, but I have no real choice. We also got Vitalio, who again has got pace, really quick. Definitely is more of a winger than he is inverted, but absolutely could be useful. Consistent, fairly determined. Yes, I could probably use him as an inverted winger if I was desperate, but I think we can definitely use this guy to our advantage, and he's got some potential ability I like. My backroom staff adore this guy because they think he's going to be a superstar for our level, which I know isn't a lot, but he could be really good. And he's more of a physical player, even if he's only got 2 strength. His stamina and pace, natural fitness, agility, and acceleration are so crucial for the role he'll be playing for us if we use him. We are trying to improve his crossing and technique though. We're also going to be talking about Javier Fernandez, who has been called up in the main squad. Inside forward, 11 finishing, 14 determination, 13 pace, 12 agility, 9 acceleration. Yes, we got some attributes we need to improve, but he could be good. He does like to use his left foot more often, but his crossing's so bad it would not be worth our time unless we decide to make him an advanced forward or something, which, weirdly enough, actually suits him outside of his work rate and his decision making. Why not make him a striker? I should do that, shouldn't I? Speaking of strikers, we've got 2 that we were using last year to great effect. Brian has done his hip again. Is that the same hip as last time? I swear he got a hip injury last year. No, it's a tie of calf and a broken foot. But yeah, he did his hip in the last game of the year, sprinting. He's been out for 2 months already. He's going to be back before the beginning of the year, though his injury history is starting to pile up and be concerning. He is a player that is consistent though, and he's only a decent player for the team now, which is not ideal, but he hates big matches. But is he a liability at this point because of the big matches and because of his injuries, despite the fact he got 13 goals last year? Then we got Diego, who's definitely an attacking midfielder, but I've been using him as a striker the last couple of years, or at least last year. Got 8 goals for us. I think he could be a nuisance, I really do. He's only 27, and he can definitely play the advanced forward role if I really needed him to, though I don't think I want to do that to him. Though I could definitely use him as an advanced playmaker on support. I could definitely make him someone that is very useful for us long term. So I think we've got a few options with Diego at least. So apparently, if I look at this, my best role in the entire team is my attacking midfielder role. If I take up my DM role. So I have to cover this because it is a role I will use. Guzman and Diego love the role. Lozano and Nesta are also good here. So if I was going to do it, we got plenty of options in this position, and that's a good sign. We've got 2 formations that can definitely work to our favour here. But today was mostly a preview of this new season. I don't know what to expect. I feel like we're going to be in a relegation fight again until our players start to really improve. And by that point, we might have lost some players because they want to leave us, something like that as well. But again, I am going to end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope you guys will like and share this video and that you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. But anyway, until next time, goodbye and well, good night.